like to call this meeting to order, declare that we do have a quorum and the media has been notified. I'll entertain a motion for the approval of agenda.
So moved, Madam Chair. Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor of approving the agenda, please say aye.
Aye.
The agenda has been approved. If you will, please stand and join me in the prayer of and Pledge of Allegiance, as well as the National Anthem. Tonight's Pledge of Allegiance will be led by Berkeley Middle School Junior Beta Club officers, Allie Wilder, Kelsey Dean, and Caitlin Lacey. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven.
Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom, power, and glory, forever and ever. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much to the members of Berkeley Middle School Chorus under the direction of Mrs. Janice Nations. It was a very talented group of young ladies right there. Thank you. I'd like to give them another round of applause. All right, our next item of business is approval of minutes for the February 11th, 2014 budget workshop and February 11th, 2014 regular meeting. Do I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I move that we approve the minutes of February 11, 2004 budget workshop and the minutes of the February 11, 2014 regular meeting.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor of approving the minutes as presented, please say aye.
Aye.
The minutes have been approved. Next on the agenda is the approval of January 2014 Head Start budget and reports. Do I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we approve the Head Start budget expenditures report and the Head Start credit card report for January 2014 and self-assessment approval plan 2014-2015 strategy and TTA plans, 2013 updated community assessment, revised school readiness plan, revised ERSA EA service plan, transportation service plan, GABI refunding application, and education service plan presented in the board agenda item V.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Wright has made the motion and Mr. Obie has seconded. All those in favor of approving the January 2014 Head Start reports and budget, please say aye.
Aye.
The budget and reports for Head Start have been approved. We'll move on to Legacy Builders. Mr. Archie Franchini is presenting.
Good evening, Madam Vice Chair, Dr. Thompson, members of the board. I call your attention to the Legacy Builders that you have in your packet, and also to Dr. Esther this evening. I hope that you will take time to look over this. We have a lot of outstanding contributions to our community, to our schools, done by many of our employees and our students, and we're very proud of them. Because we have, we'll be recognizing our Teachers of the Year tonight, we'll let you look at these and highlight them yourself. At this time, I'd like to ask the board members and the superintendent if y'all would come and stand behind the cabinet, please, so that we can begin the recognition of our Teachers of the Year. Now I'll ask Dr. O'Gorman if he will come up and introduce them to you.
Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Thank you. Madam Chair, members of the board, Dr. Thompson, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce to you the Teachers of the Year for the Berkeley County School District. We'd like to congratulate you all for making it to this level. Would like to talk very quickly about how you made it to this point, just so the audience knows. Teachers of the Year are chosen by their peers, and on the nomination form, here are the criteria. It has to be classroom teacher, could be CTE, ROTC, instructional coaches, media specialists, guidance counselors are also eligible. Should be skillful and dedicated teachers, showing superior ability to teach and to inspire students to want to learn. Also, should be respected by the administration, students, parents, and co-workers. Play active and useful roles in their school as well as their communities, distinguishing themselves as leaders. And also, of course, everyone in this group tonight will go on to compete for District Teacher of the Year and will become the District Teacher Forum chairperson. So with all that said, let's give these folks a big round of applause to start with. Teachers, I'm going to call your name. If you could, come forward through the receiving line, and then you will go to the back of the room where you'll receive a gift bag, and then you can work your way back around to your seat. Okay? Start off with Berkeley Elementary School, Heather Chapelier, kindergarten teacher. Berkeley Intermediate School, Melinda Miller, 4th grade. Boulder Bluff Elementary School, Carolyn Molinax, art teacher. Kane Hoy Elementary Middle, Sylvia Williams, 8th grade social studies. From Kane Bay Elementary, Becky Hill, 2nd grade teacher. From College Park Elementary, Jessica White, 5th grade. From Cross Elementary, Nicole Wilborn, 2nd grade. From Daniel Island School, James Mitchell. From Devon Forest, Kelly Myrick, academic support. Kelly is out ill this evening. She could not make it. From Goose Creek Primary, Dana Wiggins, kindergarten teacher. From H.E. Bonner Elementary, Sherry Hyatt, 4th grade. From Hanahan Elementary, Elaine Byrne, librarian. From Howe Hall Ames, Jamie Gerard, 5th grade, social studies. From J.K. Gordine Elementary, Siobhan Alford, guidance. From Merrington Elementary, Lauren Reeder, 2nd grade. From Sangaree Elementary, Lauren Detreville, 1st grade. From Sangaree Intermediate, Christina Short, 4th grade. From Sedgefield Intermediate, Adria Shaw, 5th grade. From St. Stephen Elementary, Erica Myers, 4th grade. From Westview Elementary, Lauren Bates, combination social studies. From Westview Primary, Melanie Hofstrom, 2nd grade. From Weissville Elementary, Jennifer Smolars, for hearing impaired. From Berkeley Middle, Julia Stanley, 8th grade social studies. From Cane Bay Middle, Chelsea Mintz, 7th grade ELA. From College Park Middle, Deanna Harrell, 8th grade science. From Hanahan Middle, Alexandra Davis, 7th grade science. From Macedonia Middle, Tracy Williams, 8th grade math. From Merrington Middle, Carrie Courtney, 6th grade. Sangaree Middle, Ronald Wiggins, 8th grade math. Sedgefield Middle, Tamara Lynn Sweatman, 6th grade. From St. Stephen Middle, Charity Gwen Carpenter, 6th grade. From Westview Middle, David Holliday, 7th grade science. From Berkeley Alternative, Lisa Sweeney, science. From Berkeley High, Tamara Moore, math combination. From Berkeley County Middle College, Lance Parrish, combination English. From Cane Bay High, Sherry Norris, combination English. Cross High School, Shamika Smalley, business. From Goose Creek High, Heather Ducker, combination social studies. Hanahan High School, Heather Wilkerson, combination social studies. From Stratford High, retired Lieutenant Colonel Sam Tripp Lanton, JROTC. And last but not least, from Timberland High School, Lori Cox, Health Science. On March 7th, we will announce the final 3 runners-up and then move on to District Teacher of the Year. Let's give them one more big round of applause. Congratulations.
I would just like to say thank you to all of our Teachers of the Year. Since I've been on the board, I've seen more and more of a variety of Teachers of the Year. We have art teachers, and we have librarians, and we have, I mean, just every type of teacher that touches children, and I'm proud to see that. I'm proud to see that it's a huge variety of type of teachers that's out there that is in charge of all of our children, and what a great honor it is to be chosen by your peers. So thank you very much.
If I may just, there's research out there about what impacts the classroom. We have this program and we have that program, but nothing impacts learning more than a quality classroom teacher, and just thank you for all you do.
Our next item of business is our citizens' comments. Before I call our first citizen up, I'd like to read our citizens' comment procedures. In order to conduct the meeting in an orderly and efficient manner, we ask that you honor the following guidelines. Stakeholder comments are welcome and encouraged. However, the board will not take immediate action on public comments at this meeting. Any person wishing to address the board must register prior to the meeting. Comments must be regarding programs, policies, or procedures. Comments regarding an employee or student other than the child of the speaker will not be heard in public session. Groups addressing the same topic should select one speaker. Comments will be limited to 3 minutes per speaker. The board chair reserves the right to allot additional time or halt public comments that do not adhere to the guidelines. Our first speaker this evening will be Mr. Jeff Brewer from Summerville, South Carolina.
Superintendent Thompson, Chairman Lee, board members, good evening. It wasn't my intention to speak this evening. I'm just going to come to the meeting and stay informed. I pulled into the parking lot of the boardroom and the lot was empty. So fortunately I left a little early, so I scrambled around making some calls to find out that this meeting had been moved to this location, and that's fine. What I'm questioning is the short or lack of notification that the meeting had been moved. I called several of my friends that regularly attend these meetings. None of them were aware of the change. Even one member of the media didn't get the word until the very last moment. I don't know if you have a policy for notifying the public when you change the location of a meeting. As a bunch of professionals, I would expect you would have a better way to do this. It's obvious that the district employees and staff knew about the change of location, but for the rest of us, we had to dig and hunt to figure out how to get here. And I just think you can do a better job. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Ruhr. Our next speaker this evening will be Mr. Rick Raycroft.
Good evening, Madam Chair, distinguished board members, and Dr. Thompson. On behalf of the Berkeley County Administrators and Supervisors Association, I come before you tonight with mixed emotions as we celebrate our Teachers of the Year. These men and women work extremely hard every day on behalf of their communities, their schools, and most importantly, their students. Their motives are simple. They want what is best for the students of Berkeley County, and they get their greatest satisfaction and joy from the success and achievement of other people's children. Yet they're ridiculed and criticized and they're attacked. And what do? They do what is good, they do what is right, they show up. They make Berkeley County a better place to live, they make their schools better schools, and they make the lives of the children in this school district better. They serve. Tonight I do come before you with mixed emotions. These men and women are to be celebrated, but tonight there's a noticeable absence. There's an outstanding, talented, hardworking, unselfish woman who should be standing here with us to help celebrate tonight, but she is not. Our Director of Communications and Community Relations shares in the challenges and successes of our schools. She serves. She serves with great character. She serves with great integrity. She serves with great passion. And she serves a critical role as an effective, outstanding communicator for this school district. And her motives are simple. She wants what is best for the schools of Berkeley County. She wants what's best for the children of Berkeley County. She serves, not for personal gain, payout, benefit, or recognition. She serves so the children of Berkeley County have what they deserve, the best we can offer them. I've attended many school board meetings over the past 25 years, and I've always had a sense of pride when the meetings begin with the Pledge of Allegiance and the Lord's Prayer, and tonight with the beautiful national anthem. I've seen the men and women who serve and have served before you on this distinguished board over the years freely and without hesitation participate in both of these significant and meaningful statements at each and every board meeting. You, like those that served before you, are reminded each time this board convenes that there is a sense of higher purpose, a higher sense of right. The actions that you take, the decisions that you make, should be guided by what is good and what is right for our God, for our nation, and for our children. The personal attacks on our Director of Communications and Community Relations are not good, and they are not right. Amy Kovach has been unfairly targeted by people. Those who have sought to criticize her and bring harm to her and her family have been pretty successful. They're not good, and they're not right. She shows up, and she works hard. She does good, and she does right. And she does so for other people's children. She is a servant. She is a leader. She deserves better. It's time to bring her back to work for our communities, for our schools, and for our children. Every board meeting begins with the Lord's Prayer and Pledge, as I mentioned, and the words are included, "Thy will be done." And I believe, as one person, that His will be done. And when His will becomes clear for all of us to see, we will have her standing back in here with us to help celebrate. The Berkeley County School District is good and right because of these outstanding teachers. The Berkeley County School District is good and right because of the communities they serve and the children that they teach. The Berkeley County School District is good and right because of people who serve to make it better with no desire for personal gain or recognition. The Berkeley County School District is good and right because of people like Amy Kovach. And we believe it's time to bring her back to work. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Raycroft. Our next speaker and our final speaker is Mr. Michael Petrie.
As educators, our number one priority is students. As teachers, we assume more than just the role of providing meaningful learning opportunities. It is also our responsibility to be advocates for our students, to ensure their needs and learning remain as the primary focus of our school district. However, some actions by our community over the past year have shifted the focus away from what this district does so well, educating the leaders of the future. Unfortunately, sorry, I can't just read from the script. About a week ago, we finished our 2014 Berkeley County Instructional Fair. And I witnessed, despite the second ice storm of 2014, I witnessed a bunch of community members in Berkeley County, a bunch of phenomenal educators that you see in front of you, like the Teachers of the Year, a bunch of great district staff, a bunch of great principals, and this list goes on and on, come together as one unit to enhance learning opportunities for our kids. And it was a tremendous success. And people walked out inspired, and people walked out ready to help our young people learn. I walked in having to run this event scared to death. I was hoping that the great teachers like you see in front of you would be able to prosper in this event in spite of me as their leader, to be honest with you. And as the things went well and I was getting positive feedback, I started to feel better about that. And then I was told that one of our news channels wanted to interview me at the event. And my heart dropped. It dropped. And here's why it dropped. It dropped because I was starting to feel really good about the event, and here was my concern. That they weren't going to come interview me about this great day, this instructional fair, that they wanted to talk to me about the distractions that community members are bringing forth concerning education in Berkeley County. Now, I'm certain that there are individuals that maybe feel that once upon a time, what they began with was principle. Maybe they even believed in it. But it's not that anymore. It is a distraction. You are distracting away from what should be our primary focus, and that focus is making sure that young people become young, responsible adults ready to enter society with the skills necessary to succeed. That's the focus. My biggest concern is that if we don't eliminate these distractions and eliminate them quickly, that the only thing our young people are going to learn from all these endeavors is that they really don't want to grow up to be just like us. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Petrie. This is a perfect opportunity. If any of our honored guests need to scoot out, you're welcome to. We would love for anybody that can stay to stay. We have our superintendent's community report coming up, but I understand you have families to go home to. You're very busy. Thank you.
No, I mean, I know her from, teaching at the school. I don't know just where she lives. I try to keep it very professional when I come out. I don't ask them too many questions, or the way sometimes people get things wrong with it. just say good evening, how you doing? I heard you're doing a wonderful job, et cetera, et cetera. This is Dr. Dr. Cooper. Larry Cooper told me when I became the PTA president. And I was like the first male PTA president at age 28. Is this right?
They want to hear anything, you better come up front.
Still my teacher's face.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a few extra seats at the front if you'd like to move forward. But now our next item of business is our superintendent's report, led by Dr. Rodney Thompson.
Thank you, Ms. Lee, and members of the board, and those that stuck around. I feel like the 3 o'clock bell just rang, recess started. Mr. Petrie, remind me not to follow you anymore. Just recently, Frank Johnson of Berkeley Independent and Goose Creek Gazette introduced me as the master of ceremonies, the Goose Creek NAACP Martin Luther King celebration. Frank mentioned the many accomplishments of Berkeley County School District during my superintendency over a short 3 years. I felt the need to correct Frank. I said, Frank, it's been a long 3 years. And I will say 3 years ago, I did need these glasses. But as I stated last year, I'm honored and humbled to stand before you tonight and look forward to many more years as our district continues to strive to meet our goals. The report I'm sharing with you tonight is a culmination of a lot of hard work by our employees and the determination of our students and parents. They deserve the credit for any successes that we've had. Our report tonight will focus on the important story in our district, the transformation of education in Berkeley County. As you are aware, we have a very structured system in which we function within the 6 goals that were established by the Board of Education. Not to break tradition tonight, I will highlight activity in each of our goals. The goals are related to school climate, high student performance, community engagement, human resource management, fiscal responsibility, and effective communication. As a result of our structured system, we are able to track our progress and measure our effectiveness. First, let's review school climate. If you recall, last spring we worked together, the district staff and board members, to establish priorities for each goal, the priorities for the 13-14 school year. The priorities for climate deal with safety, and we want to secure the safety of our students and staff. We want to deliver approved projects in regards to our capital programs. And we want to provide quarterly reports in regards to construction and renovations in our district. I will not go into a great deal of time on the safety portion of this goal, since on the March 11th board meeting we will have a safety update. But new safety features include, can't hold this device upside down, you go backwards. New safety features include panic buttons and Knox boxes, to name a few. Just to describe the panic buttons we've installed in our schools, where we have a button that will push and automatically dial 911 without someone viewing an employee picking up the phone. We've also done that with our Sonatrol keypads, where we have an alarm pad in the building. If someone opens the door and sees something wrong, down the hallway or an intruder, they can hit 911 on the Sonatrol keypad. Also, the Knox boxes are important for our fire and police protection that are on the walls of our schools, so the first responders can have immediate access to our schools. Additionally, we've added the district safety officer. One of the responsibilities of the district safety officer is to monitor the new safety hotline that is an avenue for students to report such things as weapons and bullying. Priority 2 and 3, you all received monthly executive summaries for our construction projects. And just recently, we had a quarterly report to the board of our construction projects. Last January, we worked together to establish a timeline of our projects based on the information that we had at the time. That was prior to hiring any contracts or architects. Later this spring, it is our plan to revise that timeline after we have gathered information from the architects and contractors under contract. During the process, we continue to update the board with our monthly summaries and quarterly reports. In addition to the monthly and quarterly reports, our public can view information about each project on our district website. Speaking of construction, I would like to take a moment to announce the groundbreaking ceremony for Nixon Elementary. The groundbreaking ceremony is scheduled for March 5th at 3 o'clock at the construction site. This will be a great opportunity to view the area where our newest elementary will open. Our next priority supports high student performance. Our next goal, however, supports high student performance. Looking at the priorities that we established, we wanted to support teachers as they transition into our new standards. We wanted to infuse technology into the curriculum and establish a system for analyzing accountability data. If you look at some of the outcomes, we had over 1,800 graduates in Berkeley County School District last year that earned $28.5 million in scholarships. Our past results exceed the state average in all areas. We have a new curriculum that our teachers and coaches have developed, and that curriculum is posted online. And we have a new technology for our high school equivalency diploma. This is what we once formerly referred to as a GED. Now all our adult ed programs are online for diploma equivalency. I think it's important to note that our education efforts reach far beyond K-12 environment. I just mentioned our adult education program, but we also have an emphasis on early childhood education. As you can see, we serve over 1,500 3- and 4-year-olds through multiple venues and are looking to expand our efforts to help more students establish kindergarten readiness in our county. Let's look at priority 1 for high student performance. This past Sunday, I was watching the pre-race segment for the Daytona 500. Some of you may have watched that as well. Some of you may have watched Jimmy Johnson repeat as winner when they were showing last year's race again. During the pre-race segment, they showed the cars and trucks arriving at the Daytona 500. When they first unloaded the cars and turned them loose on the track, the setups weren't quite right of those cars. The cars were all over the place. The cars spun, they hit the wall, and they even blew engines while preparing for the big race. Race teams worked hours making adjustments, running more practice laps, and searching for the perfect setup. Our curriculum units that our teachers have implemented this year are going through a similar process. Just as it is uncomfortable to drive a new car with an improper setup 200 miles an hour, our classroom teachers have been struggling with the growing pains of of a new math and ELA curriculum this year. This year, our teachers and instructional coaches have spent hours learning the curriculum, preparing for the delivery, and providing feedback so we can make necessary adjustments next year and with future units. Just as the drivers take the cars on a trial run, our teachers are working out the kinks of our new curriculum. If you did indeed watch the Daytona 500, you know that soon after the race began, 40 out of the 42 drivers were within 2 seconds of the lead car. The good news for our teachers, they have put in the hours preparing, implementing, and adjusting. So I'm confident that they will run on all cylinders next year and the years to come. Looking at this slide, we have narrowed our focus to help us reach our academic goals. Maintaining a common curriculum, measuring the success of our curriculum through common assessments, and working in professional learning communities to continuously improve the process. So we look at priority number 2. We will continue to invest technology to assist in the learning process. During the instructional fair, Mr. Petrie indicated, as well as a school board conference, the iSchools presenters emphasized that technology integration is more than just a device. It's an opportunity to transform the way we teach and learn in the 21st century. We are looking forward to continuing with this process next year. STEM opportunities in the district align with both the Common Core and technology integration. You can see a sample of the opportunities for STEM education for our students and staff. It's important to note our Title I office is sponsoring much needed after-school activities in our rural areas with a STEM focus. And our science teachers have benefited from PACE training. PACE training is a week-long professional development seminar that offers in-depth training for middle school science teachers, integrating learning technologies and scientific equipment into the curriculum. Now I'll remind you of the academic academy implementation at the high school level. Speaking of innovation, we are in the second year of our career academy model, designed to increase rigor, relationships, and relevance to the high school experience. Later in this presentation, I will highlight the impact that this design has already had on our local business community while helping our students become college and career ready. Working with our local chambers, students are organized into small learning communities, schools within a school concept, focused on its specific career pathways. As part of the model, we will revitalize the ninth grade academies. The ninth grade academies were a vital part of our graduation surge a couple of years ago. Whether we like it or not, this is the age of accountability in the education profession. The challenge with accountability, however, is it continues to change. If you look at the federal accountability system, since 2001, we've endured many changes and it continues to change going forward. As well as our state accountability system for our state report card, we also continue to have change. And our wonderful teachers that were with us tonight, they will figure out how to win. We just have to know the rules of the game. We look forward to the new rules that will be coming down in our accountability system over the next couple of years. Our next area is in the area of community engagement. Looking at the priorities, we want to provide and enhance quality programs and recognition events for our stakeholders. Capitalize on existing successes and launch new district programs or partnerships. Continue our annual back to school event to generate excitement for the beginning of the school year. like to highlight a couple of the outcomes. We had over 36 members of our community participate in Principal for a Day. We rolled out phase 2 of our on-time volunteer system that initiated over 4,000 volunteers. And our employees donated almost $150,000 to the Trident United Way campaign. The author, Todd Whitaker, states that great school leaders celebrate success often. Our recognitions continue to expand, including Legacy Builders, Turnaround Awards, which were pictured on the cover of this handout, and the Breakfast of Champions, sponsored by Berkeley County Chamber. Speaking of Legacy Builders, our own Archie Franchini and Shelley Green were recently recognized by the Trident United Way as recipients of the Above and Beyond Award. Thank you for your service to our community. Additionally, we celebrate our outstanding teachers, administrators, legacy legends, volunteers, and our award-winning schools. Effective partnerships are based on both parties supporting each other and working towards common goals. As I mentioned, our employees gave nearly $150,000 to the Trident United Way campaign. One of the programs supported by Trident United Way that directly impacts our student achievement is the LINKS program. The LINKS program exists in Sedgefield Intermediate, Sedgefield Elementary, and Sedgefield St. Stephen's Middle School. The program is implemented in our schools through the Communities in Schools organization. The LINKS program connects our students and families to resources such as health and dental care that directly can have a positive impact or negative impact on student achievement. Another effective partnership is our relationship with Google. Google has a need. They have a need for more computer science graduates. They have partnered with us to spark interest in the computer science field, especially in underrepresented populations. Before this year is over, we hope to have 500 students participate in the computer science program. As mentioned earlier, career academies are being implemented in our high schools. Timberland and Goose Creek High Schools have paved the way for other schools in the implementation process. Already several organizations and business partners have been part of this process, and more are lined up and ready to go. Although when a business partner provides their treasure, that's a bonus. With our partners, we're primarily looking for their time and their talent. Our partners visiting classrooms to help provide relevant instruction, guided workplace tours, job shadowing, and work-based learning definitely enhance the learning process. Yes, we've had a very effective Stuff the Bus campaign and supply drive begin this year. But this event is more about generating excitement for the start of school. I know that our teachers that were recognized tonight are very grateful that when our students arrive on day one, they are excited about school and ready to learn. Our next goal is strategic human resource management. The priorities are to provide professional development opportunities for all employees, enhance strategies for effectively communicating employment opportunities. I'd like for you to look at our breakdown of employees. Over 4,000 employees in the Berkeley County School District. And we're in regards to economic development, we are a major player in our area. We have over 3,000 school-level employees. More than 2,000 of those are classroom teachers. We have 767 district-level employees. If you remove the bus drivers, the maintenance staff, the technology staff, the Head Start staff, that's not a lot of district-level support for the size of the organization that we have. Over the past couple of years, we've expanded our recruitment efforts in an attempt to make our applicant pool more diverse. With our recruitment fairs, we're going to more places, looking for applicants that we traditionally have not looked in the past to increase our applicant pool. You can see the breakdown of our professional staff, our teaching staff. We're making gains in regards to the opportunity to have a teaching staff that represents our student population. However, we realize there is room for more growth in this area. If you look at the trend of certified teaching staffs hiring trends over the last couple of years, you can see in 12-13 that we had a spike. And that is the time frame when we were recovering from the recession. We added the eighth credit back for our high school students. We added a fourth day of planning for our elementary schools in that year. And it looks, we had a large amount of retirements. But the bottom line is our district is still growing, so we'll have the need, looks like another 300 new employees for the next school year. Moving on to fiscal responsibility. We want to continue to provide transparent financial information, continue to receive an overall unmodified audit opinion, and provide professional development training in all areas of finance. Just to highlight a few of the outcomes, we're on the risk management honor roll for the state of South Carolina. We ranked 22nd out of 83 districts in academic performance. That's up 2 from the previous year. However, we only ranked 69th out of 83 districts in regards to per pupil expenditure. 85% of the district's total budget is directed towards salary and benefits. Just a reminder of how we receive funds in regards to our general operating budget. The majority of our dollars come from the result of any sales tax at the state level. We do get revenue on the local level in the form of property tax, minus property tax on the primary residence for the operating fund. We are allowed to convert a small percentage of total dollars to operating budget. Looking at transparency, when it comes to our finances, our financial transactions are posted on the website. We also have quarterly financial and semi-annual procurement reports. Just last month, earlier this month, we had a budget workshop. We had public meetings in regards to our budget prior to the passing of our final budget. We received an unmodified opinion, the best opinion a school district can receive, and I'm pleased to report that financially our district is in very good shape at this time. It is important that we maintain a healthy fund balance, especially during our bond programs. This healthy balance has helped us secure competitive interest rates that save the taxpayers millions of dollars. We hope to revise our fund balance policy next month to ensure we maintain minimum levels. Our last goal is in the area of effective communication. Communications, we want to continue to communicate effectively, provide communication training for staff and personnel, and continue to foster effective communication to support board member responsibilities. The you look at some of our outcomes, we have increases in messaging and usage of the district communication tools, and schools sharing positive news of the media more efficiently and more frequently. During our recent weather dilemmas, our phone notification system was critical in notifying our parents and staff about school cancellation. I hope you've seen an improvement in our district webpage, and we have taken on social media and modified our weekly communication to staff and stakeholders. It's important to note that our crisis plans are also coordinated with our communications department to help us keep our schools safe. I'd like to share with you some amazing statistics in regard to communication. There's never a shortage of media requests in our district. Since the 2010-2011 school year, the number of news stories has more than doubled, while the percentage of negative stories has steadily increased. The reasons for this trend is our district communication staff continues to build relationships with local outlets, contributing to the number of requests increasing dramatically. In addition, our schools are being empowered and supported with the ability to send positive information directly to our media outlets. A few minutes ago, I talked about the age of accountability. And in closing, I'd like to review some of the results of our efforts in regards to how we're measuring accountability standards in our state. If you look at the federal report card rating, with a rating of 87.5, I indicated that that's the 22nd highest rating out of 84 districts. And our report card rating maintained a good rating. We look at some of the individual tests. When it comes to our past results, we made steady gains. 2013, we flatlined just a little bit, but we predicted that with the implementation of the new curriculum. And I will dive into that now a little further on the next slide. But look at our high school assessment program, our ASAP, some people refer to that as our exit exam. We're making significant gains to our overall target of 2015 of 85%. And the gains have been steady across the last 3 or 4 years. That's the way we like to see data trend. In the course exams, we had all subjects, biology, English 1, algebra 1, U.S. history. We almost hit our target rate of 80% 2 years early. We'll continue to be part of that test as long as the state will allow us to take that exam. And our on-time graduation rate made gains, and we're getting close to that 80% mark. If you look at the past data by subject, you can see that the subject that we experienced trouble in is math. However, we did do math curriculum. We'll have to work with our teachers, our math instructors, to help them with the content. And as our first graders and second graders start to progress through this new curriculum, we expect to see that rise. This statistic has been duplicated throughout the state in regard to math. You see the increase in science, social studies, and the increase in English portion of pass. One of the things about the Common Core standards in regards to ELA, the standards are the same in English. First grade through 12th grade, we hold on the same standards as the rest of the curriculum. For math, may have standards that don't relate to each other in the grade level. Look at our past results, never above. This is just a bar graph of that short. See that our number was fairly close to 10.1 for last year. ASAP passing rate, towards that 85%. In the course exams, we did see a surge this year, getting a handle on the standards, especially in the area of U.S. history. Although 4 or 5 years ago, we had a lower 50% passing rate. Our on-time graduation rate, has been gained 10% over the last 4 years. This is really what we're after. Someone in the first grade wants to be able to graduate over the next 12 years. We're happy with this statistic, but we're not satisfied. Let's keep plugging until every student graduates from high school. You might ask, why is he putting third grade reading scores behind graduation? The third grade reading scores are an indicator of how well the students will do over the next couple of years in their educational freedom. We're going to improve our graduation rates. There are some wonderful things that we have going on in our high schools and our middle schools and our elementary schools. We're going to have to start with our children before they enter the first grade. We're going to see some gains in this district. In fact, as I mentioned earlier, the first and kindergarten readiness. If you look at the third bullet down, and I don't know if you can see that in the audience. We're looking ahead to next year, what do you expect in 2014? We have to develop a systematic approach where we plug our community, our parents, our children into organizations such as Cradle to Career to align both public and private programs in regard to preparing our children for kindergarten. In essence, utilize early childhood development education to close the achievement gap prior to age 5. Our programs should be about prevention, not retention. Dr. Lee last week presented a model of a reading seed and reading program, a reading camp for our struggling third graders. And I know that that's a needed program. But our focus should be on prevention, not retention. We educate our students so that they are ready to start at 5 years old. We don't have that large achievement gap in many of our students. We've got to be able to walk into our community resources and help all of our students regard their child. Other expectations for next year, we will work with the Board of Education to review our progress and plan for future years. We will continue to make safety priority number 1. We will continue to modify our new curriculum in math and ELA strategically implement science and social studies over the next couple of years. We continue to support our staff through professional development opportunities, including the areas of technology integration. Streamline the application process in an effort to recruit the most highly qualified employees for our vacancies. Develop policies to solidify the importance of a healthy fund balance and enhance our ability to tell our story, promote the community engagement that is necessary for our education process in Berkeley County. I'm very grateful to serve such a supportive, dedicated Board of Education. Ms. Moore, 20 years of service to this board and county. Your service is amazing. You deserve all the recognition that you have received. Thank you. And I want to tell you, Ms. Moore, my goal is to serve this district for 20 years also. Going forward, I will approach tomorrow just as I did today, giving 110% to support our administrators, teachers, and students, while encouraging our district support staff and stakeholders to do the same. As our report title indicates, our journey has been a learning experience for all involved. time to move on. Our students are depending on us. I look forward to working with the board over the next several years as we revise our goals and priorities for the upcoming school year 2014-2015. Thank you very much.
Mr. Cooper.
I just would like to thank those from the teachers that are still here, administrators and everything else, because in 3 years, those kind of results, and to look at the data and be focused on it the way you folks have been, shows we can get great results here. I just look forward to taking it even farther, as Dr. Thompson said, but thank you for all that you do every day, because we are a huge, huge district, and that's to move those many basis points on test score improvements and graduation rates, et cetera, to me is outstanding. Thank you.
Thank you. Ooh, it's so loud. I just want to piggyback on Mr. Cooper's remarks and thank all of our employees throughout the district for all that you do for our students and for our families. This is a good report, and it doesn't seem to do it much justice in a PowerPoint or printed out this way. But for us as board members to consistently see all of you working as hard as you are, it's very rewarding to be on this board, and I'm humbled by what you do. I usually don't like to single out any particular group, but I do think I've been particularly hard on Dr. O'Gorman in the past, and Dr. Thompson when it comes to Common Core and all of the things that these reform initiatives that keep coming down on all of us. And I just want to especially thank all of our district staff, our instructional coaches, our teachers, for taking what has been passed on to them and doing really incredible things with children. And there are plenty of days, I'm sure, we would have liked to have chucked it and said, we're done, but you haven't done that. And I think this is a perfect time to thank all of you for the focus you've had with that and not giving up. And we know you're not done. We know it's still going to be hard, but I hope you know that I support you, and that the families who are seeing incredible things in their children support you too. Thank you.
Ms. Moore.
I want Dr. Thompson to know that I appreciate his presentation, especially when he mentioned about diversity in the schools, in the classroom. As a black person, I'd like to see the teachers and staff reflect the population of the students, and he mentioned that tonight, and I love that. Another thing that he mentioned, that we're going to do a lot with the curriculum, and my pet thing is to lower class size. I feel if we were to lower the class sizes, that would bring about a better learning environment for all of the students. And I know that Common Core curriculum seems more rigorous. However, regardless to the model that we use, if we have smaller classes, then those struggling students would be able to get the necessary help, and we could then home grow more teachers for the classroom. And I definitely would like those class sizes even with 20 students in a class and one teacher, that's pretty hard, and I'd like to see some changes there. But thank you so much.
Our next item of business is administration and facilities, and that is Mr. Franchini.
We have the 2014-15 instructional calendar second on the agenda. Before I make the recommendation, we want the board to know that the staff is also working on a calendar. They pretty much model the max hours. But this time, the administration recommends the board approve the 2014-15 instructional calendar A for second and final reading.
Do I have a motion for the 2014-2015 instructional calendar for second reading?
Madam Chair, I move that we accept the recommendation of the administration and approve the 2014-2015 instructional calendar A for second and final reading.
Second.
All right, we have a motion by Mrs. Schwalbe and a second by Mr. Obie. Is there any questions or discussion? Hearing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor of approving the 2014-15 instructional calendar for second and final reading, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The instructional calendar has been approved.
Board members and well aware of it's unusual weather. Last month or so, this board instructional day is because of the weather. We know that there was a move to put from the General Assembly to use some of those days. Now we believe the instruction is important to have those days on the calendar. Administration would not like to recommend that one of those days of instruction be made up on April 21st, currently the first day on the current instructional calendar. That's already in place. The day after the break, so the students have to return day early. We believe this is preferable to eliminate the calendar on the calendar at the end of the year. Also after summer evaluation. We recommend that one of those days be made up on April 21st.
Do I have a motion for the April 21st instructional makeup day?
Madam Chair, I move that we accept the recommendation of the administration and approve April 21st, 2014 as a makeup instructional day.
Second.
All right, I have a motion by Mr. Cooper and a second by Mr. Wright for the instructional makeup day to be set for April 21st. Is there any discussion or questions? Okay, hearing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor of approving the administration's recommendation to have April 21st as an instructional makeup day, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Okay, April 21st has been approved.
Administration would also like to recommend that Monday, May 26th, be used as a makeup instructional day. That day is currently on our calendar as a World Day holiday. Once again, we feel that instruction is important. We realize that this is a holiday, so I have plans. But, all alternatives are at the end of the school year. Instruction is not
Do I have a motion for instructional makeup day being May 26th?
Madam Chair, I move that we accept the recommendation of the administration approve May 26, 2014 as a makeup instructional day.
Second.
Mr. Cooper has made the motion to approve the recommendation to have May 26, 2014 as an instructional makeup day, and Mr. Wright has seconded that motion. Do we have any discussion or questions? Mr. Cooper.
Just as a point of clarification, we've missed 4 days because of 5. 1 day was a teacher's instructional workshop. For education. The staff. So we're only going to make up 2 of them total. We're only going to make up 50% of the days currently. Thank you.
We may have to make up all 4. It depends on what happens in the legislature. If they give the local board the authority to excuse days, we would like to get it as many instructional days prior to final exams as possible.
How many half days or early days or any other breaks in between now and the end of the school year do we have?
We have a half-day conference day at the elementary and middle schools the Friday before spring break, and that's the only half day that I observed between now and the end of the school year. Did I look at that correctly? Is anybody? March 21st. That's a half day, early dismissal.
So is that the only one?
So we don't get you half a day back.
That day's already counted as
Yeah, and I know that I just struggle with, it is important to have the kids in school as much as possible. Memorial Day almost seems like a lost cause with everybody having vacation plans and such. I think if we try and get teachers and kids to school that day, it's going to be very low attended. We'll be calling on Kelly Services a lot to get substitutes in there. I'd like to see us at least go to school for that full day on that half day. Even though it doesn't make up a day, we still gain an entire day of instruction, knowing that all the kids are going to be there on that day versus a Memorial Day holiday where I'm sure lots of families go ahead and start out their summer season where they might not be back in town for that Monday, and you'll have classrooms half empty. My other question would be, if we had to make up all 4 days and the General Assembly didn't give us permission to excuse some of those days, what other options would we have?
June, right? Yeah. Yeah, they in the year, second and third possibility.
And those are after graduation?
Yes, sir. We can graduation on May 30th and again this week, and Green High School will be second after birthday.
We have June 2nd and 3rd as options, correct?
That was what was already built in.
Right.
Second. Questions, Mr. Elder?
Yeah, I'd just like to see us, get rocks thrown up here, but I'd like to see us either go to school for that full day on that half day so we can ensure we touch as many kids as possible. Because I just really don't think you're going to get that many participants coming to school on Memorial Day when the families are out of town or when teachers and families already have plans. If we're going to make the best use out of a day with kids, let's make it out of a day that they're already going to be there versus calling them in on a day where we know a lot of people traditionally travel.
Mr. Cooper, yes.
But if we bring them in for that half day, so then we've only got 1 day made up now, because we already had credit, we're going to get credit for that day, right? So we're still 3 short. So we're probably, if they do, we're going to be back addressing the Memorial Day issue again. If we don't get leniency from the legislature.
And
I guess as much as I don't like it, because I agree with Mr. Obie, a lot of people, that's the same dates every year. People block out that as a long weekend or start a holiday. But to me, it's ludicrous to bring kids back after graduation's done and everything's done. What are they going to do, watch TV for 2 days just to satisfy the requirement? If we're going to try to make up something, at least we get them on schedule, maybe by the end of March, board meetings, the legislature will have acted and given us some leniency to maybe dismiss some of these days. I guess.
One of our reasons is more scrutiny and that's now fairly early.
Nobody likes it.
I agree. I just still like to see us consider the that half day as a full day, so we can make sure we touch as many kids as possible. Because, like I said, that Memorial Day.
Well, I would, the half day was March 21st.
Yes, sir.
We've made the motion that we will make up a day on April 21st, so that one's complete. I would feel comfortable tabling the May 26th till the next board meeting. However, if we're going to do something on March 21st, we would need to do that tonight, hopefully, so we could give folks adequate notice.
But anything's the requirement. We're already getting a day credit for that, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, but you'll have on March 21st, you'll have a full classroom. On May 26th, I doubt you'll have a full classroom or a full set of staff there to educate the kids. I mean, bring them in on the last 2 days of the school, June 2nd or 3rd, whatever it is, that May 26th, if you get a bunch of teachers out and they can't supply them with substitute teachers and stuff like that, that'll be another TV day for the kids just to sit around and watch TV, where we at least keep them the whole day on the 21st when we already have them. I understand it doesn't make up a day, but, are we talking about making up days, or are we talking about making up instructional time? I'm worried if we're not going to have kids there on the 26th, it's just not going to be a very good instructional time.
I think it's both. We have to make up, we're supposed to make up days. We're only proposing making up 2 of the 4 that we're supposed to make up. So,
I'd be willing to make a motion to make the 21st a full day.
now there's one on,
Now, I do have a question. If we approve the May 26th date, and families already have, and even since we've approved the April 21st date, if families already have plans, will we be looking at those on a case-by-case basis? Because in the high school, if they miss 5 days, they're in danger of failing a course. I would hate for that to be the 5th day if families have already made plans. Have we discussed that?
Our discussion at our administrative level is we would need to work with those individual families and employees if they've already secured travel plans for these makeup dates.
All right. Any other questions? We do have a motion on the table, so I will now call the question. All those in favor of approving the May 26, 2014 instructional makeup day, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. May 26th is our instructional makeup day. Has been approved.
Madam Chair, if I might, I'd like to make a motion that we make March 21st a full instructional day for our students.
Do I have a second?
A second.
Who was the second?
Mr. Wright.
Thank you.
All right. I have a motion by Mr. Obie, and it is seconded by Mr. Wright to make March 21st a full instructional day rather than a half instructional day. Are there any questions or discussion? Yes, sir.
I guess I'd like to hear what the administration's opinion of that is.
That is early dismissal day, so I don't know what's on the agenda if we have
Conference. It's a conference day.
that is a conference day, so we don't have trainers coming in. Okay. It's a conference day for elementary and middle schools.
Parents.
Any other questions? All right, hearing none. I will call the question. All those in favor of changing March 21st from a half day to a full instructional day, please say aye.
Aye.
All
Could
those
we have
opposed?
hands, please?
Yes, ma'am.
Frank, gotcha.
Thank you for the half day to make it full day. All those opposed?
And Ms. Moore, please.
Did Ms. Moore vote?
Ms. Moore, did you oppose or? No. No. No, she raised her hand in affirmative.
Affirmative.
Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
All right, the motion has passed. March 21st is now a full instructional day rather than a half day.
One additional item, the administration requests permission to destroy a mobile unit number 641. The unit is over 30 years old. It has a lot of wood rot as well as a lot of mold. It is at the bus maintenance facility and has outlived its usefulness. We'd like to request permission to destroy that mobile unit.
Do I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I move that we give the district permission to destroy mobile unit BCSD 641.
I second.
I have a motion by Mr. Obie, seconded by Mrs. Schwalbe. Is there any question or?
I just want to help demolish it if that's possible.
I'm sure they would enjoy that. All right, I'll call the question. All those in favor of the request to demolish mobile unit BCSD 641, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The motion has passed.
Did you teach in that unit, Ms. Walker? Is that
I
right?
think I did, actually.
Our next item on the agenda is Human Resources with Dr. Levine.
Good evening, Vice Chair Lee, Dr. Thompson, and esteemed members of the school board. At the February 11, 2014 school board meeting, Rule JCD-A-R, Student Behavior Code, Policy KG, Public Use of School Facilities, and Rule KG-R, Public Use of School Facilities, were approved for first reading. At this time, it is the recommendation of the administration that Rule JCD-A-R, Student Behavior Code, Policy KG, Public Use of School Facilities, and Rule KG-R, Public Use of School Facilities, be approved for second and final reading.
Yes, ma'am. Do we have a motion for second reading of policies and rules, policies and Rule KG, KG-R, JCD-A-R?
Madam Chair, I move that we give second and final reading to agenda item number 10, Rule JCD-A, Student Behavior Code, Rule KG-R, Public Use of School Facilities, and Policy KG, Public Use of School Facilities.
Second.
Is that Mr. Cooper seconding?
Yes.
All right, I have Mr. Obie with the motion and Mr. Cooper with the second.
Yep.
All those in, excuse me, are there any questions or comments? Hearing none, I'll ask for the question. All those in favor of approving second and final reading of policy and rules KG, KG-R, JCD-A-R, please say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? The motion has passed. Thank you. Thank you. All right, our next item of business is to go into executive session. And before we enter an executive session, I would like to thank Mr. Mike Wilkerson and his staff for graciously hosting our school board meeting this evening. We appreciate your hospitality and letting us invade you for a little while. Thank you. All right, I will entertain a motion to enter an executive session for reasons of personnel considerations, contractual matters, and a legal briefing.
So moved, Madam Chair.
Second.
All those in favor of moving into executive session, please say aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. We are now in executive session.